Well, harvest is back on day 11, and it's Monday the 25th of July, and rather bizarrely we are cutting winter beans, which is ridiculously early for this crop. In an ideal scenario, we probably, well, in an ideal world maybe, I don't know, we would normally be cutting these at the very end of August to the earliest, usually the first sort of few days, first week of September. But I think with the very hot weather that we've had, it's obviously killed these off. We're on a really light land field here. This is Hollow Brooks. When the farm had sand and gravel land on it, they stopped just the other side of this popular belt, and that's as far as they went. So it's kind of underlying sand under here, so it is quite light. We're just doing a yield calibration at the moment, so we're not quite sure exactly where it's going to be, but we're looking kind of quite respectable at the moment, if that is indeed what it says. It is dry. The dust is most definitely flying. Yeah, it's about 7 hectares out here. So got going this afternoon. Changed the combine round, changed the concaves, put the side knives back on. The barley on the hill, which we've still to finish, was testing at 19.6 this morning. Don't really want to be cutting that at that sort of moisture, which is then going to need to be dried. This is kind of 14 to 18. There's a green patch or two just up ahead where the soil does get a little bit heavier. You can see where they're just hanging on for a bit, but that'll even itself out in the overall tonnage. It's only a small little bit, and yeah, sample, little bit of rubbish in there at the moment, just as it gets itself going. But some quite nice beans. We'll be saving a few of these for our home safe seed, and then growing beans again next year. Had some fairly good results with them the last 2 years. So with the price of nitrogen fertiliser where it is at the moment, there should be hopefully a good market for some beans as well. Nice homegrown protein, going into animal feed, human consumption, potentially export. Egypt imports about 80% of the beans that we grow here for human consumption. So it's a variety called Tundra, which, if the Baroukid beetle isn't too bad, might make human consumption. There's no beetles or larvae left in them. It's just a little hole in the side of the bean where the adult has left the bean. So we shall have to see. We'll get some samples in the post when it's done. But yeah, back on. We've got 80 hectares here to do, and another 40 at Kemerton. As soon as the barley really gets dry enough, we'll switch back into the barley. And then we've got a lot of beans on heavy clay soil at the moment, which they're not ready to be harvested yet. So we'll come back and get those a bit later on. But yeah, good to be rolling again.